Okay, so I think I figured out how to fix all global issues around the world. I wish I were joking, but I'm being dead serious. I've been doing a lot of research since age 15. I'm now 32 years old. So I wrote down pretty much my conclusion. It's not the best paper I've written, but I'm going to read it to you guys and then hopefully it starts a discussion or creates awareness and it kind of creates a ripple effect that can do what it's supposed to do. So, here you guys go. Okay, so hello, my name is Asayahan Daniel, and I truly do believe I figured out what's going on in the world. But it would require you to actually take a second to read and digest these words. And more importantly, breathe and remember someone out there cares about you. And even though within your mind, body, and soul you feel like you're not loved or understood, I'm talking about that person within that is questioning even the people around them every day discreetly, but still wakes up and tries to live in harmony with others every morning, whether at work or at school or at home, or whatever it is you do every day. So let's see if I can figure out where life problems actually stem from. Again, remember to breathe because it's some deep wisdom being shared here and deep truths that require the world's attention to dissect and solve. Because I can't do this alone, so I am sharing what I've learned in the hopes it shifts the planet in a better direction because a lot of movements haven't really changed much. I'm not trying to judge other people's voice or their organizations or their movements, but I think the real question is, does the world want real change? The real kind where all problems are solved globally for good. Okay, so first off, I feel like African kids in America deal with a lot of nonsense. For instance, I am Ethiopian and I was born in 1988. I'm 32 years old and I live in America here in Northern Virginia in Fairfax County. I am currently at the Hyatt Hotel in Merrifield, Virginia at the Mosaic District. The address is 8296 Glass Alley, Fairfax, Virginia 22031. I've been trying to study world events since age 15. And after all this studying constantly every day till now at age 32, I honestly don't understand why the world hasn't changed yet, but I have come to some conclusions that I think need to be discussed globally. I don't think I'm the person that has any answers to these questions, but I do see some problems in the world today I think Americans and other countries don't know about, especially the kids and the youth of our future. And it's about how Africa's history has been stolen and used against all humans to control them. And I'll prove that. I think the whole world is being lied to, especially Black Americans and minorities in America. If you remember one thing from this whole discussion I'm about to start, just remember Tupac tried to warn y'all, Tupac Shakur that is. Tupac tried to warn y'all to study ancient Kemet and ancient Egyptian history to empower yourselves for modern times like today. So just remember that. And if you feel called to study your true history and roots, go and study online, Kemetic and ancient Egyptian knowledge and how that's linked to the earth, sun, stars, and moons, and even your inventions and technologies. This stuff gets pretty deep. If we look at hip-hop's history, there's an idea after Tupac died for speaking the truth, hip-hop got hijacked and used as a weapon to control the youth by making the world fight each other every day about who's representing the streets and who is a voice for their communities. While Black America has been doing that every morning, and minorities as well, and even white kids at this point, everyone is in the streets nowadays. The rich white Americans and rich folks in general, any race at this point, because the world is globalized, has been focusing on space expeditions and leaving us and saying they're getting resources from the moon and Mars and like other planets, basically their space exploration, while capitalizing off our drama every day on Earth. I'm talking about, average Joes, regular humans, kids, people on the streets acting reckless. So they've been capitalizing on our drama in debates over what's real and not real. The daily news feed and social media, trendy TMZ news, the Shade Room. I mean, there's blogs for days that keep talking about stuff that happens every day. So the problem is they use people like, and I'm just naming random celebrities. I don't know who's at the, I don't know Hollywood. I don't keep up with Hollywood's like stats of who's the best artist and whatnot. And I'm a fan of all your work, so I'm just naming the ones that I remember growing up. But yeah, the problem is they use people like Erykah Badu and The Roots and Mos Def, whose now name is Yasin Bey, and Talib Kweli, to act like they're speaking some levels of truth and awareness, but really it's just to keep people thinking they're righteous and holy, when in reality those people are being lied to as well, the people that listen to their music and are a part of their realities. Because everything outside of that, 5%er lifestyle is designed to anger you every day and create division between black and brown folks and make you hate your brothers and sisters in your communities because of the actions they behave in, which is usually ignorant ghetto shit that isn't aligned with the 5%ers philosophies. And for those who don't know, 5%ers is pretty much like a religion. You can research that in your free time if you aren't aware of that. But everything outside of the 5%er lifestyle is designed to anger you every day and create division between black and brown folks and make you hate your brothers and sisters in your communities because of the actions they behave in, which is usually ignorant ghetto shit. So yeah, that's stage one. And then Jay-Z and Beyonce, and again, I'm just picking the ones that, if I remember correctly, were the ones that were running the show in the 90s and 2000s. So then Jay-Z and Beyonce kind of sell this idea of black excellence and being a financially independently empowered black man and woman, when in reality they're selling y'all the delusion of this almighty dollar, which keeps the average person looking in the mirror feeling like they need to wake up every morning and chase that money and be a voice for the people trying to make it out the hood. Then like 50 Cent, Dipset, Jim Jones, I don't know, Joel Santana, like I can't remember all these rappers, but all these other rappers came in the game and started to have their own cultures about how to get this dollar, and all of a sudden being a soulless asshole gangsta became the cool thing to do. Then I don't remember what happened, but I think the South took over, like Lil Jon and Young Jeezy, and damn near every rapper started selling drugs and looking cool and making, like, I don't know what they're trying to sell, but in reality, the government works with these local rappers who also serve, the streets with drugs in their communities, and these rappers who sell all this music and these nightclub owners to keep people dancing and drugged and having sex all day and having dramatic fights and shootings in their neighborhoods and clubs. No one's realizing it's all one big magic trick against black people to keep Erykah Badu's cult following separate from rap's cult following, and to have people, politicking all day over what y'all should be doing with your lives every day. Then like Lil Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj arrived and got all these kids into more weird shit like lean pills and having this fuck the world attitude, or I'm a boss bitch persona, and I'm a twerk all day and night and get this dirty money. Like, who knows what Drake even represents, because that dude is confusing as shit. But all these females love him, and honestly, it sounds like a Cupid spell to trap women into just falling in love with dark souls. And guys that can sing their hearts away, promising them a good life, and I don't know what the hell's going on in America. And then Rick Ross sells this idea that, I'm a boss and I don't know what the fuck these rappers be talking about anymore. Because then, like, J. Cole came, Childish Gambino came, Wiz Khalifa came, and Wiz Khalifa started making weed and marijuana look cool and being woke and stoned all day and getting high, looking awesome and cool. Was like this trend in the last couple of years, when really it's destroying, the weed is destroying your vitamins and minerals. So I don't know how woke you are if you're not taking care of your body. And I can prove all of what I'm saying, how the government is involved in all this, if you just keep listening. And remember, this is about me studying life in general and realizing that global issues can actually be solved, or like at least you can save yourself from global issues and surround yourself with people who want to do the same and protect themselves. So back to the music industry. So then we have like people like The Weeknd. Let me slow down so you guys can take a breath, because sometimes I feel like I talk too fast. So I'll take a breath with you. So then, like, The Weeknd, who's also Ethiopian, which is interesting, sells more darkness in his music. Just listen to his old work of arts. He sells like dark love and like dark energies through his music to once again trap women into this emotion that is very dark. It's like I'm real and the world is fucking bullshit, which is semi-true, because the world is kind of all over the place. But that means we would have to rise above that darkness. It doesn't mean stay in that darkness, which I kind of understand, but, there's a lot of new kids, and I think they would need some light in this world. So I'm going to try to be that light. So moving along with the music industry. So now we have like World Star Hip Hop, which is basically just a zoo of rappers who basically hate Hollywood. So once again, more black people fighting with one another, and more darker souls of like who's real and who's not real in this industry and in these streets, and like who's keeping it real and who isn't. And then it gets worse, like mumble rap, and the fact that artists are so, their brain cells are a little off, which is fine because that can be fixed as well. And their brains don't really even work properly because they can't even speak English or even Ebonics properly. Then we got rappers nowadays who are like really sad and kind of cry on songs and do emo stuff, which kind of makes sense because they kind of just think life sucks, and I've been there growing up, so I understand. It's just, when you find out it's all just one big trick on black people, that's the real sadness. But again, there's a cure for this, so there's hope. So the truth is that was the whole reason they stole hip-hop from people like Tupac. Remember in the beginning, I told y'all hip-hop got hijacked a long time ago. People have been saying this for a while now. So I can actually prove that. They stole hip-hop from people like Tupac. It was to get y'all fighting one another and being sad as fuck about your lives and not believing in anything and having a fuck the world attitude. Or at least to all you new kids, that's what happened to your parents. But keep listening, because there's a solution to all of this. So, to Now, we have also underground hip-hop artists like Immortal Technique and many independent hip-hop artists like Blue and Murs and Atmosphere that were lying too and act like they were speaking the truth when really that was also a weapon to keep people angry at the world and wanted peace all day, but never once teaching their audience, the people that listen to their music. They never taught humans how to actually empower and defend themselves in this world the proper way. Because they teach empowerment, but it's all fake empowerment. It's not the real ones from ancient Egypt and Kemet, which is the true history of this planet's human history. Which, by the way, is where hip-hop stems from. Hip-hop stems from a very ancient Egyptian Kemetic culture. Music in general stems from ancient Egypt and Kemetic cultures. It does not stem from New York or Run DMC or any of these old folks that sold it to you guys a long time ago. That was a major lie. Underground and independent hip-hop cultures are used the same way mainstream hip-hop was hijacked and manipulated and used for Erykah Badu, The Roots, Talib Kweli, Nas, Mos Def, and many other people simply to divide people from each other with their versions of truth and understanding and have black people fighting one another over who's living right and wrong in this world. So, I'm just gonna take a breath. Okay, so my video cut off. I have to free up space on my phone, and so I'm gonna continue reading where I left off. So now we got white kids and parents in America, yes, white people, and even white-skinned people all across the globe thinking black or minorities from other countries are ghetto and hip-hop is evil, when in actuality, you're actually royalty and divine, just like your ancestors from ancient, Africa. This is African history. Self-defending yourself is not wrong. Being a warrior or military-minded and speaking your truth is in your DNA, because your ancestors fought every day to protect the land, just like in the movie Avatar. That's why that movie's so popular. They fought every day to protect the land and its people. To protect the land and all of its people, which is all the human race, from all forms of evil. And that's what Tupac represented. So he wasn't just some hoodlum or some gangster, some thug that, the television tried to make him sound like. He was the evolution of tribal energies of our ancestors, which in modern day y'all call a thug, when in reality a thug simply means you won't take shit from nobody if they're not doing the right things in life. Just like his mother, who was a Black Panther. It shouldn't be shamed on if your voice is aggressive or if you say a curse word here and there and use vulgar language here and there. And there are a lot of Americans nowadays who say you're not polite and you're behaving ghetto if you talk or behave like this or like that. When in reality, being a savage or daring or confident individual like Tupac is just an emotional reaction to the stuff he was seeing every day in his life in the 80s in the environments he was around. So black and brown people, whether Latino, African, Middle Eastern, Asian, Black American, Australian, it doesn't matter. There's even probably Black Australians for all I know. Just because our skin is whatever color or someone dresses and walks a certain way doesn't mean anything. The reality is everyone is lying to everyone around the world. It doesn't matter who your favorite musician or rapper is. They're all lying to you, the innocent civilians on this planet. This world is clearly still learning how to unify. So, someone would have to get these history books straight and speak the truth, because from my research, a lot of these celebrities and politicians are clearly doing things to the world including the kids and the youth today, and have done stuff to my generation as well. And once again, I was born in 1988. So anyone that was born in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, this is the stuff that we just witnessed here in America. And if you're not from America and you just came to America, now you know what was happening in America that actually affects the whole globe, because everybody in Hollywood, is influencing the world. Everybody in power and these politicians are influencing the world in the wrong direction. That is a fact. So let's keep going. So I'll just repeat what I said. So someone would have to get these history books straight and speak the truth, because from my research, a lot of these celebrities and politicians are clearly doing things to the world, including the kids and youth today, and have done stuff to my generation as well. And I don't personally like it anymore. So I decided to speak up because I simply just don't like it, I don't think I fear anything, I just don't like it. I don't like this reality. And all these corporations and businesses keep making new inventions and keep making us buying more stuff that kind of doesn't even work properly, which says a lot. And they say they're giving us jobs and providing money for our efforts to keep their businesses alive, when none of these corporations are aligned with nature's law, which is a deeper topic about, the material we're using is supposed to be sustainable. It's supposed to coexist with the harmonic frequencies of the universe, number one, and two, Earth's energies. It's deep wisdom. Even this hotel bed, it's not in alignment with nature's law. So these inventions are literally the opposite of living in harmony, not only with ourselves, but with Mother Nature herself. So in actuality, we're potentially killing our planet, and I think it would be wise to start thinking hard about what we're all doing to each other every day, fighting over land and energy and power with one another, whether you're a politician or in the military or a CEO of a business like Amazon or NASA focusing on space. If we're all going to space, then we all should be going to space together. You can't just leave us behind and go on television acting like you found some water on the moon. That's not good enough. I think you're promising us safety from these space expeditions, when in reality, I think you're trying to keep stealing Earth's resources and energies for yourselves, while people starve every day trying to survive, and by keeping innocent humans fighting one another every day, while you, yes, you, the most powerful people in the world, escape this planet in your rockets and spaceships, space stations, spaceships, whatever, and your new space force, while the Earth destroys itself by humans and families and husbands and wives and kids and schools and thugs and gangsters, and this world just keeps fighting one another, killing each other in their neighborhoods around the whole world. The whole world is doing the same thing every day, while the rich, powerful leaders get away with human genocide. I also want to add there's a lot of fake conscious communities as well, like Gaia TV, which is like spiritual version of Netflix. It's like Netflix, but for spirituality. They love to sell the idea that they have like these deep spiritual truths when it's not the real spiritual truths. These are all lies that the world is telling y'all. And the name of that network is called Gaia TV. It's a very popular network. We also have Black African leaders acting like they're preaching a message of truth. These Black African conscious movements. I don't really know who they are, but I've heard of people like Brother Polite, Sonetter TV, Hebrew Israelites like Pastor Dow, which actually I was actually following Pastor Dow's message because it was so deep and like resounding, until I found out, there's a lot of lies going on. I can't just talk about, the complexities of how big this lie is. I'll just connect the dots for you guys so that you can see the bigger picture. I hate to name Elijah Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan as well, but It's just there's a lot of lies. Again, I don't know how deep this mental enslavement goes. Towards innocent people around the world, but I do feel I do feel like the world is being lied to. For instance, sugar. Yes, your white powdered sugar that you put in your coffee every morning. The history and lessons I learned taught me that sugar is the worst thing you can ever put in your body because it blocks your throat chakra. This is a very important energy center that ancient Kemetics teach. Ancient Egyptians, ancient Kemetics, a lot of ancestors teach that this is a very important, this is your voice. This is the most important chakra in your Kundalini because your chakra is used to express your emotions and your truth. That's your power. That's your voice. That's what the ancestors gave to you. This is their design. Okay? So you have to ask yourself why the world puts sugar in their foods and drinks. It's to stop people from speaking truth to power. It's to stop people from speaking truth to power. And how come Asia and India are the countries people look towards when discussing Kundalini energies of the human body, and that stems from Buddhism and Hinduism. When the true science and teachers of Kundalini and yoga and martial arts, they all came from Kemet in ancient Egypt. This all came from Africa. All this knowledge is stolen from Africa, and it's being used improperly to control humans around the world. I feel like ancient Africa's true history and royalty was stolen, and its knowledge was used against them to rule the planet and keep the people suffering and manipulated and divided. See, we're all fighting each other. At all 7 continents, we're just all fighting with one another. It keeps people suffering and divided while the rich use Africa's knowledge for themselves in their own ways to rule over their countries. But I believe the knowledge is to be used properly because, once again, if we are living in harmony with our human body, then we can be in harmony with the next individual in our homes, then in our communities and neighboring countries, and end violence around the world, or try to. Because once our Kundalini is healed and you become truly spiritual like the Kemetic and ancient Egyptians, then our planet heals as well because you become a producer to this world instead of a consumer. You give something to the world instead of always taking from nature. You give back to nature what she gave to you. Health is your true wealth. It's not money. Money's a tool. I'm not saying money's like all the way evil, but really your health is the most important thing. You can't build upon any new great ideas within the human mind without your health. So the world can't be happy and have love for one another if we're fighting every day over land and resources. We should be creating more trees, more fruits, more vegetables, better schools, better inventions, and have a real discussion about who's lying in these history books in your school systems. Because I learned from people like Tupac that a lot of these conspiracy theories that people think are crazy may actually have some truth to them. So all I'm saying is, if this is the information age, and for people that don't know what that means, the information age means this is the age where information is just accessible and attainable for us to decipher, contemplate, critically think, and decipher what's real and not real. That's the age we're in. We're studying knowledge to decipher what's true and what's not true, because now information is accessible through the internet. Basically, it's really the internet. Okay, so all I'm saying is, if this is the information age and the whole world is on the internet, at least most people are, we should decode and see what is real and what is fake, because we only have one planet. And with the potential humans have to evolve from their ignorance and actually do magnificent things with their human minds, being at risk because of racism and other topics like countries going to war over religion and politics, we could end up in a very dangerous dynamic. We could end up in a very dangerous dynamic situation where corruption prevails and hate and evil wins, when love could just heal it all. It's so simple, yet there's just too much hate in this world. And it's the hardest riddle to solve, because no one knows where this evil even stems from. But I guess it stems from historical flaws, because why was this knowledge hidden? You know, for instance, the real medicine is nature and the sun. A lot of hidden mysteries from old... I just need to take a second. I'm just thinking about, I can't believe I'm even doing this. Number one, but I feel like it's important, even for myself, just to speak my truth on this planet. Because even my story is pretty deep. And the people that, work really hard to decipher all this knowledge, like, they're just scattered around the whole earth, probably, but mainly America. Like, American kids who lived in America, through the 80s and 90s, they were really experiencing the reality of American truths. So every day they wake up wanting to learn more about what's really going on. And they could be anywhere. They can be anywhere, trying to figure exactly what I think I figured out. But, like, even their lives, they can end up gone. And, like, I don't really fear death at this point. I don't fear prison. I don't fear death. I don't fear nothing. Because it's Christianity's fault. They lied to us. Like, that's the reality. Like, America's #1 religion is Christianity. And that's not even the real religion. Like, it's just fucked up. So I'm just gonna keep going. I think I have like 1.5 pages left. That's not hard to finish. I literally wrote this yesterday, and I just flowed through my mind. I was like, let me just get all these thoughts in order on on paper, and just hopefully it goes not viral, obviously, because I don't think a lot of people can handle this truth, but whoever can handle this, brilliant minds can do something with this knowledge, and just, let humans do what they do best, which is use their minds to figure out what to do next. Because I honestly don't know anymore. I really don't know. Okay, so okay, so a lot of hidden mysteries from old religious texts decode a very interesting truth about the sun that shines on us every day. Without the sun and clouds in earthly lands, there's no water, there's no plants and flowers, there's no mountains, there's no trees, which provide oxygen for us to breathe. We wouldn't have clothes, shelter, food, computers, smartphones. We would literally have nothing. And ancient Egypt and Kemetic ancestors knew that, and they lived a very balanced life in harmony with the earth because they understood their connection to it. That's why, me personally, I love drinking water every day, about 8 glasses a day. It's gotten to the point where I drink a gallon a day, but that's something I evolved into. A lot of people that work out, a lot of big men, like I'm 6 feet, I'm 180 pounds. I might have lost like 15 pounds in the last month, but I can drink a gallon of water a day, easily. I breathe better. I feel way more balanced and happy and free to dance, sing, study, laugh. Like I dance, sing, study, laugh practically every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm focused, I'm serious. I experience many emotions every day. I don't just like wake up, go to work, have like 6 emotions, and then go to bed. Like I really feel life. I do whatever I want because I'm fluid and hydrated and my mind is sharp. Coffee didn't do that for me growing up, before I knew the truth about the powers of, natural foods and drinks and the power of water. Coffee didn't do that for me. Neither did Coca-Cola when I was a kid, McDonald's and all this other stuff. And definitely not alcohol. I don't even want to talk about alcohol. How horrible it was for me and probably for you and probably for a lot of people. But back to water. Water rejuvenates cells, vegetables, and fruits, and some grains do as well. Cancer is nothing more than dead, toxic, acidic, radical, just inflamed. Like, your body is supposed to be filled with living cells. End of story. And cancer can be reversed. That's another truth. It's like not funny, but it's laughable because the answer was nature all along. Vegetables have living cells, fruits have living cells that fight and protect you on a cellular level. People make fun of veganism, even though sometimes it could be hard to be a full vegan, and that's okay. But with the way the world is today and the amount of problems it's having with money and oil and resources, and even how much water in the ocean is actually left for us to use, people should be thinking about going vegan and keeping Earth alive and focus. I'm sorry, like I can tell I'm moving too fast because, let me just breathe and take a second. I feel like I talk too fast sometimes. It's because I really just want to get this over with and see. I want to see what this information does. That's really my end goal. I'm really tired of thinking about the same things every day, because I knew this since I was 15 years old. I'm 32 years old. And there was many reasons why it was so hard. Well, one, I had to find out if this is true. This whole debate over nature versus science. Like, it was like the biggest debate going on Earth. And then, eventually you land towards the truth. So it's like solidified now. But it's been solidified for, I think this is divine timing. I just think it's divine timing. But yeah, so I'll keep going. So yeah, I'm almost done. People should be thinking about, sorry, just, people should be thinking about going vegan and keeping Earth alive, and focus on environmental solutions to protect their communities and teach others how to do the same. Because we are a reflection of how damaged the Earth is. So the Earth can't heal until the people here heal themselves. I'll repeat that. So the Earth can't heal until the people heal themselves. The body is 75% or 80% made of water, which I feel like the world knows this, but we don't practice it. Something around that range, it's somewhere between 75% or 80%. Our body's made of water. So you mostly need water in your body to survive. If we're drinking water instead of Coca-Cola or coffee or alcohol, or whatever you drink, then our souls are not toxic, which means every breath all 8 billion humans on Earth would take would be cleaner, because even humans are polluted internally. So every breath we take, we pollute the planet. We pollute our bodies every day by the foods and drinks we eat, and all the animals we keep killing and eating and abusing. Mind you, we eat their emotions, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you guys have seen documentaries on how animals are treated, but the pain and suffering that animals are experiencing, we eat those emotions because everything's energy. So we actually internalize their pain, and then it kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know if it's karma or the energy kind of flows through you. So now you're sad, angry, in pain, depressed. You feel what you feel as abused in your own personal lives as how animals are feeling. That's how deep nature and energy is. So okay. It takes time to stop eating meat. But the way humans eat today, you guys just eat and eat and eat, and you wonder why you're overweight and unhealthy and sick. Your body self-heals when you allow food and water to do what it's designed to do. Like the saying, let food be thy medicine. That's the power of nature, because we are nature's children. We come from the sun, we come from the earth. We are not separate from this green, beautiful planet. I still don't understand why these powerful leaders try to sell so many pills and medicine at these hospitals and pharmaceuticals to these adults and children across the world, promising health and healing. But just the same way drug dealers, they just mostly do it to make money and keep people sick, because they don't want them to be strong and empowered to survive and protect themselves from many things in life and even the universe. We still don't know what's out there in the universe. Beyond even the universe. So I think these religious texts were designed to manipulate men and women in power from old wars. I think the original texts had a different story more aligned with the universe and earth. I don't think God is outside of ourselves. I think we are just as divine as the gods, and I think it's something within. Excuse me. I don't mean to burp. That was rude. I just had lunch. I'm sorry. I just had lunch, so pardon me. I think we are just as divine as God. I think that's God's sense of humor. I really think that was the universe just trying to say, just laugh at life. And, as serious as life is, even human behavior is funny sometimes. So I think we're just as divine as the gods. In fact, ancient Egypt and Kemet knew they were royal and godly people. They would never work and be told what to do every day by someone who is not living pure and holy. If we're gonna work every day, I know people don't like work, but I don't think people mind working if it's something that makes them happy. We hear that all the time, and that's something we should strive towards. So why do we all work for these people every day? It's questionably fucking stupid. I hate to be rude. I don't want to use curse words, but it's ridiculous. People like me who wake up every day and are somewhat politically aware and looked back in those ancient, historical, mysterious texts know that the power for the people resides in ancient Egypt and Kemet and should be studied. Africans are not dirty, diseased, poor, malnourished, fresh off the boat. I mean, we've heard it all at this point, or whatever you guys keep calling them and us. They are not ignorant and something to be afraid of, and think our spirits are impure and ugly, when in reality we're actually divine, just like the ancestors. And who knows what Black Panther, the movie, was really about. The Wakanda concept. Who knows what that movie was trying to tell people. All the warriors before Europe and America conquered and ruled, sadly, and many other continents, as well as China, Russia, it's a mess. Like, a lot of people throughout histories, I'm sorry, let me slow down again. I'm trying to get this over with and just sleep. Okay. A lot of people throughout history whose ideas and inventions and knowledge got stolen by Europeans and many other ancient empires. And now Mama Africa is dying, nature is dying, Africans are dying every day, slave laboring, mind you. You gotta remember, Africa's the one that gives you guys the resources. The natural resources, it comes from Africa. And they're the ones that dig. They're chopping your coffee comes from Ethiopia. Coffee comes from a lot of places now, but do your research. That's all I'm gonna say. Most of your natural resources comes from Africa. Plain and simple. And African leaders are lying to those Africans, citizens, every day while they're doing the slave labor to give y'all things in your superpower nations to keep your systems alive. They give y'all everything to keep, these superpowers, they're nothing without the resources from Africa. End of story. The internet and social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and even beyond those social media platforms, there's a lot of new platforms that are decentralized from the blockchain community and the cryptocurrency community that have provided a more freer social media where there's no censorship. And that's something to research as well to see if that's actually true, but that's what's happening in the world right now. There's alternative solutions to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the major ones. And for the brilliant people out there that know how to code and program and do amazing things and build apps on computers and smartphones, some people out there know how to build a social media platform that can probably be better than the ones we have now. No offense to Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or Instagram, but people don't want to be censored anymore. Like, it's getting a little ridiculous. Like, people want to talk. So social media is all supposed to be used to unify, have conversations and find people who think like you and build realities that make sense to each other. You don't have to serve these systems and governments and other cultures or realities you live in, whether it's a good lifestyle or a bad lifestyle. If you don't want to live with these people or work for these people or serve these countries, dude, make your own reality, or at least start the discussion of what you want out of life, or keep digging, researching, find the truth, do what your soul is, listen to those thoughts, like keep seeking. Truth seeking takes you on an amazing journey, So yeah, you don't have to serve these systems and governments or cultures or even your family, friends. Like, if it doesn't feel good and you don't want to be around that reality, like, do something about it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's beyond me. That's out of my hands. That's something I can't even speak on. You can stay in those realities if you want to, but that's like choosing to suffer every day with drama and stress and pain and sorrow and sadness and depression. I would rather speak my truth and continue to survive on this planet my own way. And honestly, if you study, I already said this. This next sentence is about if you study computer science or programming or coding or anything like that, you're a gift to this world, because you guys know how to build the apps and create communities of your own. And there's a lot of brilliant, everyone has something unique in the mind that they can offer to the world. So that's why I think people should come together. That's just my opinion, because I really don't understand what's ahead for the kids, for the youth, and even for the adults, because it's just, we don't have to listen to none of these people, especially if the world, and when I say none of these people, I'm talking about people in power. I don't fear corrupt people, especially if the world has a lot of cleaning to do. Because in my opinion, this earth is very dirty, corrupt, a little ghetto, and I would rather just live a clean life, cleaner than any of these realities y'all live in, because I've seen it all. I've been around the world. I've literally seen it all. There's no world that I haven't, like, seen, like, literally, I've been there. I've been around, yo. I've been around, like, I think the real ghetto and ignorant people is actually the government and its leaders and its influencers on television, because we could have been equal and in harmony with all of creation, whether Black, white, Asian, African, South American, Middle Eastern, European, or Australian, a long time ago. Because, it's just, I can't figure out what the future is, even for my life, and I can't even speak upon what my life has turned into, because it's too deep, but I don't fear how my life ends, because I just know that, I'm okay with where my life could potentially go, whether it's good or bad, because, when you talk about stuff like this, anything could happen to you in this world. People are talking about, how advanced this world is and how they can do all sorts of advanced stuff to control the world. and I don't like talking about stuff like that because it's ridiculous. But I just do know that, the power, I actually know how deeply powerful the internet is, how protected it is by the people who want these truths told, because this knowledge, this is their, like, this is what they've been trying to do. They've been trying to get humans to access this knowledge and, I guess spread it. Because what good would it be if I had this type of knowledge, for myself? That would be practically pointless, So I said a lot. I'm just scrolling back and I'm like, wow, I just said a lot of stuff. And I obviously haven't said, I think I said enough to connect the dots of what I'm trying to say, which is that it's just we're doing everything backwards. We're supposed to be doing everything, more positive and in alignment. We're doing everything reversed on this planet. So, and that's not our fault. That's just the people who have been ruling over us. This is how they control people. And, it's disgusting. So, that's really what I wanted to share. And I just hope someone takes it serious. Because, I feel like the older kids, I keep saying kids, the 80s babies, the people that were born if there's some 1970s generation, 1980s babies are a little bit sharper than, 88. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but this is what I found. So hopefully you guys, hopefully somebody does something with this. So, bye.